Hello and welcome. You're watching Revsportz, and we're gonna preview in this particular video about this particular game, the last Super 6 game of this Under 19 World Cup. It's going to be India versus Pakistan for that one last spot in the semis, and we are here in Queens Park Boulevard, where from a couple of hours from now it will be all buzzing around. And why I'm saying buzzing around, because we are anticipating at this point of time that there will be crowd. I'm getting these messages since last night that the people, be it in Harare or in the local vicinity, they wanted to watch this game. They were asking about the tickets, they were asking about the entry points, the timings, each and everything. So there could be a little bit of buzz as compared to other games. So in this particular video, we'll talk about the backdrop, what's going on, because that is the key thing. There was no chat in last two practice sessions these two teams had. One at the Athletic Club Bulawayo, where for at least 45 minutes they simultaneously practiced in a single ground. It happened in Dubai also, where they were in a single, in one premises, but in two different grounds. There was ground number one, there was ground number two, and they were practicing there. But here it was just one ground, that's Bulawayo Athletic Club, and they were practicing there for at least 40 to 45 minutes. There was Pakistan team, you can see the pictures, and you have the Indian team. They both practicing in a single ground. No words exchange. Forget about handshakes or meeting or talk, me finding them in talking terms. Happened in both the days. Yesterday it was the Queen's Sports Club, where both the teams had their practice session. Pakistan had an early morning practice session somewhere around 9. They were here since 8:30, and then around 1 Indian team reached. So before Indian team enters the ground, it was clear. Pakistani team already cleared it up. Even when I was standing near the fences, and on my one side it was Sarfaraz Ahmed, and on the other side there were a bunch of Pakistani players, and he said to them, those players, that come and have your food quickly. We need to finish off things before they arrive. They means here is India. So this is what exactly happened here. No eye contacts, no words exchange. Forget about a handshake or a hug. I don't know that what will happen today in the game. I really don't know at this point of time. But similar things have happened in Asia Cup. So the current scenario, you all know, things are not that, things are not hunky-dory between both these countries. There are things said by Mohsin Naqvi in recent times also. They are showing a protest against India also. So there are multiple things in the current backdrop, if you talk about just the current backdrop. And then you have a Asia Cup history also, where there was multiple things said by Pakistani team. India reverted, young Vaibhav Suryavanshi, Ayush Matre, when he was going to the pavilion, after that dismissal, there were multiple things said. There were multiple things said by the Pakistani fans during the time when Indian players were coming out from the ICC academy. So there's this history also. Pakistan beat India by 191 runs, and it was quite a convincing victory. Before that, in the league game, India beat Pakistan by 91 runs. Kanish Chauhan played he was the man of the match. And apart from that, a handy role from captain Ayush Matre in that particular game also. So, if you talk about the backdrop also, if you talk about the recent meetings between both the teams, that was also not good. The current situation, again, not good. What had happened with the senior teams, not good. So, everything is giving you a red flag between India and Pakistan whenever you are discussing these points. But, let's go a little further as far as cricketing things are concerned. So scenario wise, it was quite clear. Let me just give you another reminder. I've done multiple videos around it, be it in Revsportz Hindi or Revsportz English. But the situation is quite clear. For India to go into the semi-finals, they just need a win. Or they have to, if they are losing this game, they can't allow Pakistan to win it single, means not something which you can call a dominant victory, not a landslide victory. They can't allow Pakistan that, because if that happens, then Pakistan will overpass the net run rate, and then they will qualify for the semi-finals, and India will be out of this tournament. So they can afford to lose, but with a very less margin. So if there was, the less margin, if you consider the less margin, I'll go into the, exact numbers also. We'll create some hypothetical situations also as far as this, scenarios are concerned. But obviously, if India loses this game also, then also there is a very good chance that they can qualify. Why this? Because you have this format where you are taking over the points and the wins and losses from league stage to Super 6 stage, and now everything will be either your win make the main difference, the huge difference at first. If not the win, then it will be your net run rate. So net run rate wise, India is pretty strong. Wins wise, India is ahead of Pakistan. Pakistan lost the game in league stage versus England. India at this point of time, no loss for India in this tournament. From the league stage to Super 6 stage. So when we talk about now the scenarios, it's simple. India have to win and they will march to the semi-finals. If India loses also with slight margins, then also India will qualify. For Pakistan to get into the semi-finals, they have to win it big. Suppose if they score 300, 325, they have to win it by a margin of 80 to 100 runs, somewhere around 80 to 85 or maybe 100 runs. That margin will do it for them. That margin will put India, out of this tournament, and Pakistan will qualify for the semi-finals. As far as batting first is concerned, this was the situation. The hypothetical situation for batting second will be something that they have to score 200 runs in 30-31 overs. That's not looking tough at this point of time. But when you say 200, then you add a more 50 runs to it, 250 runs, it will be come down to 32.2. So you are somewhere adding just 9 balls into the overs category, but you are adding 50 more runs. If it's about 275, then you have to chase it down in 35 overs. Now, when you are saying that 275 runs in 35 overs, it will make a huge difference, from that point. So yeah, these are some hypothetical situations. Ultimately, it will be all about Pakistan have to win this, by a big margin, and that's where their NRR, they will go ahead as far as NRR is concerned versus net run rate is concerned versus India. Now, at the very last, the things will be who to watch out for. Who are the players? Yes, we all know Samir Minhas's name. We all know, Ali Raza's name. But who apart from these boys, these young boys, and from India's side, who can be the real threat apart from Vaibhav Suryavanshi and Ayush Matre or a Vihan Malhotra who scored 100 in the last game? Who can be? Is there any changes in the Indian team also? Because from last 1 week, the wickets has gone little flatter. The ball is little holding up a bit and it's spinning also. So if you see last few games, if you see the Sri Lanka versus South Africa game, if you see England versus New Zealand game, if you see the India game also, it will give you certain kind of indication that yes, spinners are also doing well. So apart from Samir Minhas, it's the captain Farhan Yusuf, scored a very good 65 versus England, and he's also looking good. But one guy apart from Samir Minhas and Farhan Yusuf is Usman Khan, the left-hander. He is also someone you can look out for, in the future also. I'm not saying that currently, but for the future also, these two boys, Samir Minhas and Usman Khan, these top order batters could be the one you can look forward to in future. So and Samir, we all know, 2 back-to-back half centuries, 72 not out. He played really well. I remember his innings versus USA also in that warm-up game. Again, a 72 under his belt. Before coming to this tournament, he scored a 42 ball 100. That 171 versus India in the finals. So lot of big runs as far as Samir Minhas is concerned. He will be the real threat. But apart from him, do watch out for Usman Khan. And apart from that, they have some really good bowling. If you compare, player to player, yes, they have a really good bowling lineup. If you compare it with India also, if you see the charts also, if you see the numbers also, they are little ahead. And who's making the real mark there? It's obviously Ali Raza, the man who picked 4 wickets in that final also, Asia Cup final. And now here he is joint highest wicket taker, 12 wickets under his name. And he is bowling really well at this point of time. Today he spent a lot of time in the wicket. He wasn't there to bowl a lot of overs because he was keeping himself, quite fresh. But apart from bowling or catching, it was the way he was observing that wicket. He was listening to Sarfaraz, and he was looking ready. So apart from Ali Raza, we all know that one guy who's doing really well is Abdul Subhan. He's again in that top 5 list when you talk about the highest wicket takers. Apart from that, there was Mohammad Sayam, also the left armer, and two important bowlers. If you talk about the spin bowling options, they have one Chinaman also. One is obviously Momin, and he was doing really well. If you talk about Momin's performance, his performance versus England also did really well against them. Then they have these two leggies, Ahmed Hussain and Usman Khan. So they have quite a good option if you talk about their options that who can give them a little bit of variety. On the other hand, yes, India, as I mentioned, we have Vaibhav Suryavanshi already scored 2 half centuries in this game. We have an Ayush Matre already getting starts, 1 half century for him, 140 odd for him. Looked really well against New Zealand with that short ball stuff ploy against him. He scored a lot of runs in that particular area with that pull shot and hook shot. He was looking good. Not a kind of start which Aaron George wanted at this point of time, and then we have to see that whether it will be Aaron George or Ayush Matre or Vaibhav Suryavanshi who will open, or an Aaron George or Vaibhav Suryavanshi, because last couple of games we have seen Aaron George coming up the order, maybe because of the injury he had and the lack of game time for him. But before that, we always seen Ayush Matre and Vaibhav Suryavanshi opening the inning. Number 3 could be then Aaron George. Number 4, obviously Vihan Malhotra, the centurion of the last game. Will they go with Vedant also? They are also, poising this, really well. If you talk about the left-hander and right-hander combination, there's a Vaibhav Suryavanshi at the top. You have an Aaron George. Then you have an Ayush Matre in between. You have Abhigyan Kundu also. You have a Vihan Malhotra also. And in between, you can put a Vedant Trivedi also. And then you have someone like a Kanishk Chauhan also. So, and then obviously another lefty in RS Ambrish. So you have options, and you have players who scored a lot of runs in these particular, in these particular games which we played here. So batting depth is one thing where India is leading in this game if you compare it with Pakistan. A lot of informed batters, a lot of players who scored runs against big teams, against quality sides, under pressure also. Abhigyan Kundu is your highest run scorer. He's one perfect example of all of this. And the kind of batting depth you had is, I think, will be the key in this particular game. So as I said, bowling wise, you have all the options. If you want to bring in a leggy, you can bring in a Mohammad Inan. If you want the similar combination, you have Khilan and Kanishk with one left arm offie, one right arm offie. And apart from that, you'll definitely see someone like Vihan Malhotra bowling at the top, or in Vaibhav Suryavanshi bowling at the top. And with that, you have someone like a Dipesh Devendran can click that 140 kph. Apart from that, you have an Henil Patel also. So you have multiple options with you. RS Ambrish can bowl, those quick balls with the new ball also, with the old ball also. So you have a lot of options. We just have to see that what combination will India go with in this particular game. And yes, all to look forward to as far as this virtual knockout or virtual quarterfinal, you can say, for both the teams. India looking little ahead with the combinations. Pakistan really good with their bowling option, and add a Samir Minas as far as batting is concerned. Let's hope for a best game. Let's hope for a game with lot of not lot of ifs and buts, and what we saw in the Asia Cup final also. Hoping for a quiet game. Let's see. Thank you so much for watching this video.